great question, and to be honest, that's also a challenge, right? I mean, there's no right answer to it because, ideally, if everyone has to do it right, they should be looking at doing it from scratch, as your first question said. And ideally, an organization structure should follow the accounts and the business need, both in short term and mid term, right? But we all understand it's a challenge, right? It's a challenge because there's a transition happening of sales to account management. And I think, I've seen both happening. If I have to pick one, I would say that there is a higher risk of failure if we try to impose account management on an existing pure sales approach structure. Just from a perspective that, the skill sets and the mindset and the approach has to be totally different. And, that involves change in the process, change in governance, change in the way the team works, right? The number of people to number of accounts, a lot of all those operational parameters, right? So I think, my belief is I've also seen in my experience things that we have done from scratch, and that has worked really well. And a little bit going back to the previous question and previous answer.
Yeah, so I think Pushkar has put it very beautifully. And so there has been this constant issue with should that key account go to the account management team? Should that rest with the sales who was primarily responsible to onboard the client? And over the period of and I've seen both where there has been the sales team was managed that, or there has been a dedicated key account team which is kind of managed. But I kind of agree with what Pushkar mentioned, that the thought process and the way of working for an account management versus a BD or a sales is totally different. And somewhere during the transition that it does lead to some issues here and there. And so over the period of time, it's kind of have the sales team, maybe we have a sales team, then we have a key account, but within the sales is what the team is managing. And that is the kind of structure that I've seen has worked the best when it comes to managing of the key accounts.